Nationwide teachers' strike moves into second day. Minister Keith Scott apologizes for calling teachers uncaring and selfish. Environmentalists concerned at spills, emissions and seismic activities as Guyana prepares for first oil. And in sport, Darren Sammy joins the CWI as ambassador for Women's World T20. These are the major stories we are tracking this evening. I'm Ashley Scotland with this our Tuesday, September 4 edition of News Update. Welcome and thanks for joining us. The nationwide strike action for thousands of teachers has moved into its second day, and government-employed educators continue to press for higher salaries and better benefits. This newscast visited several schools in the city, which revealed that parents have begun to keep their children at home, fearing they may be left unsupervised. Lashana Gomez-Canilas reports.
At the St. Gabriels Primary School in the city, our news team observed some parents and children returning home as teachers were seen boarding transportation headed for a picketing outside the Education Ministry. Some of the parents we interviewed earlier today believed that a compromise ought to be met between the Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education, for the future of the nation's children is at stake.
Yes, it's very frustrating because you get the children geared up for school, and this is the results for the first week of school. They need to make some final resolution for this problem so that the leaders of tomorrow can be educated.
Well, I just brought my son here. He's in the grade 6 class. So here he is. Trying to find out if his teacher is going to be here or not. Because I'm thinking they should consider these children who are writing common entrance at least.
Many of the parents, while seemingly in support of the teachers' strike, are concerned that the government is not fully pulling its end of the bargain and resolving the situation, which places their children at a great disadvantage. As regard those children now starting the grade 6 level, parents are worried that the ongoing strike could ultimately affect their children's performance at the next national grade 6 examination.
Yeah, they should, come to some compromise. But I'm thinking, they should probably give the teacher they want, but on some condition in that, because half of the time the teachers, they're supposed to be in the classroom, but they're at UG, they're not teaching the children 24/7. So I'm saying, probably come strike a balance, give them what they want, but with some certain stipulation.
While in the vicinity of the Stella Maris Primary School, other parents, some fully dressed for work with their children by their sides, were seen leaving the school.
I don't know what to say. I go to school and the teacher said that the best thing to do is carry your child home. Yeah, that's the best thing, carry your child home.
Well, the situation is affecting me because the teachers them like a second parent to me, because I got my job to do for maintain them. And when them get affected, like I get affected and the child. Lose the people them man, just give them the money, free them. Because without them children won't make it. We want criminals, we want decent citizens.
I understand why they on strike, but still, I don't blame them, but I still think they need to put systems in place to deal with the children, because if not the government, the ministry, somebody.
Reporting for MTV News Update, Lashana Gomez-Canilas.
Meanwhile, Junior Minister of Social Protection Keith Scott has issued an official apology to the country's over 10,000 teachers days after he described them as selfish and uncaring for taking strike action over a pay dispute with the government. Teachers across the country are involved in an ongoing industrial action after the government refused to pay them salary increases as recommended by a high-level task force set up by President David Granger. Scott, who has responsibilities for labor, made the remark to a group of 11-year-old students at a bursary awards ceremony on Friday, which prompted widespread condemnation. In an apology issued by the Ministry of the Presidency, Scott expressed remorse for his utterances. He said, and I quote, "I would like to offer my sincerest apologies to the teachers of Guyana. I regret making such an inflammatory and hurtful statement. I have always and will always hold the teachers of our nation in the highest regard. It was never my intention to be disrespectful of or to downplay the legitimate industrial actions taken by the Ghana Teachers Union on behalf of its membership and teachers generally. I humbly and sincerely apologize." End of quote. You're watching MTV's News Update. Stay with us.
Let FiberTech help you to renovate, refresh, and redecorate your kitchen. Spice up your kitchen with decorative colors, finishes, and accessories. Choose from an array of designs and beautiful granite colors that are blended to suit your choice. FiberTech Lifetime Kitchen is durable, termites-free, and water-resistant. Enjoy 1-year factory warranty along with our after-sales service. So come on in and let us help you choose wisely.
Modern Optical Service has made it even better by introducing its budgeted spectacle line, starting as low as $10,000 for single vision lens and $12,000 for bifocal lens, available in tinted or clear, complete spectacles at affordable prices. So hurry down to our main office at 316 Middle Street or Lot 14 Diamond Public Road opposite Demerara Bank. Enjoy over 60 years of eye care experience at affordable prices. Modern Optical Service, your eye care professionals.
Introducing the new Softex toilet tissue, now available across Guyana. Softex is silky smooth because it's made from virgin pulp. Softex is soft and gentle to every touch. Even babies can use it. Manufactured and distributed by BPAT's Paper Manufacturing, Eccles Industrial Site. The choice is clear. Choose Softex toilet tissue, super soft and super durable, guaranteed.
The Ghana Teachers Union remains resolute in its move to demonstrate industrial action as the Ministry of Education remains silent on any counter-proposal for increased salaries. Details from Sandy Ramutar.
Even though teachers have made good on their promise and demonstrated industrial action for increased salaries and benefits, the Ministry of Education did not propose any increase. While the Ghana Teachers Union is requesting a 40% increase for the year, it has expressed willingness to negotiate with the ministry.
The GTU submitted a proposal for 40%, but we have said to them 40% is not our demands. Our proposal says 40%, that's where we will start the talks from. Up to today, the government has not come to us with a counter proposal to say we cannot offer 40, we are willing to offer 5, 8, 10, 9, 11, nothing like that they've come to us with. And for people to go out there to say that GTU is being unreasonable, I wonder if they really understand the meaning of being unreasonable.
The ministry offered a ballpoint figure of $700 million for all teachers across the board. But the union disagrees with the meager amount, which amounts to just $5,000 per month. The union represents over 8,000 teachers who contribute a union due of $700 monthly. A trained teacher works for a gross salary between $70,000 to $80,000, while an untrained teacher collects just about $60,000.
We've said to our partners at the Ministry of Education, when we would have had 1 and 2 on and off talks, we've said to them, look, give us something tangible in the first year of the agreement, which would have been 2016. And for the remaining 4 years of the agreement, which is a 5 years agreement, we are willing to accept 5%. You tell me if that is not being reasonable. How much more reasonable can we go in terms of our bargaining?
Teachers across the country are standing in solidarity with the union and have already agreed to withhold their services until their grievances are addressed. Sandy Ramutar for MTV's News Update.
Hundreds of teachers this morning picketed the Ministry of Education on Brigdan as the nationwide strike action moves into its second day. Lashana Gomes-Canellis reports.
Unyielding in their cause and worth as educators of the nation's children, several teachers expressed concern over the government's failure to come to an agreement for increased salaries with the Guyana Teachers Union.
We are out here today because teachers have long been waiting for an increase in salaries from the government. They are some deceitful people, and we will continue to be out here until our desires are met. We are proposing 40%. We are not demanding 40%.
I think the teachers would agree that we are all standing in solidarity simply because we were promised more, and I think at this point in time we do deserve that.
We're just out here seeking justice. None of us want to be out here in the sun, standing up here with the children in school. We love our children and we really like teaching them. But sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. And I think our children understand that. Many of them have told me, Miss, we're going to sit quiet in the classroom, just leave us work, and we're going to do what we have to do. You do what you have to do.
A common view of many of the teachers is the lack of support from some head teachers for the strike.
All head teachers should support the teachers in this cause here right now. Because when you have head teachers, of course they have their responsibilities and so on, but they have to recognize that this is basically teachers' lives at stake here, including head teachers and other professions in general. So unless all the teachers can stand up as one, it means we might be at a stalemate for a long time.
My HM, she has her own opinion, her own knowledge, her own understanding about strike. I don't think she's a member of GTU, so she would have her own say. Besides that, some HM would be sucked up under ministry officials, so they would hold out to do anything they could do to stay there. I am not like that. I stand up neutral. What is right, I support. I will not support wrong.
Despite the Education Minister Nicolette Henry had announced that substitute teachers, along with retired teachers, would be deployed to schools to assist with students at schools, some parents and teachers complained that that is not exactly the case. Reporting for MTV News Update, Lashona Gomes Cornelius.
As Ghana prepares to commercially produce oil in 2020, speculations are booming on the possible environmental risk the resource can have on the country. Executive Director of Conservation International, Dr. David Singh, said some of these direct environmental risks are primarily associated with oil spills, emissions from the operations, and seismic activities. He was at the time speaking with the Interpress Service News Agency on Guyana's preparation for the imminent oil and gas industry. Dr. Singh said the government will need to increase its capacity to understand and manage those risks as they increase. He also implored civil society to learn about the industry and contribute to the establishment of policies and laws. Noting that the country should be cognizant of its limited resources, he said support will be required from companies that are in the business of clean, renewable generation. Opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo, during his perpetual call for the preservation of the sugar industry, claims that there is no study that the government used to justify its decision to close estates.
The government has again received a verbal beating from the People's Progressive Party. While many are focusing on the teachers' strike, the PPP has ensured that their frustration over the uncertainty of the future of Gaisuku is reheard. Leader of the PPP, Barrett Jagdeo, during a sugar forum dubbed "The Sugar is Too Big to Fail," reminded that the COI into the state of the sugar industry recommended diversification of the estates and not closures. Jagdeo also wanted a social impact study and an economic feasibility study to be done before the government took a decision. He claims the decision to close the sugar estates is purely political.
This decision to close the industry has no technical basis, theoretical basis. It's a political decision. It's a political decision purely because I can't find any other way of describing it. I can't find any technical study to substantiate it.
Jagdeo noted that the PPP agrees with the changes, but such must emerge from a consultative process. He underscored that when the bauxite industry went downhill, the PPP government created alternatives for the workers that lost employment. However, the current government is treating the severed sugar workers with disdain.
This government has just fired the workers, abandoned them, no help whatsoever, and in fact the money that they earn, their severance, they have to keep begging for it, go to the court for it.
Godfrey Brooms, MTV News Update.
A 32-year-old Essequibo Coast motorcyclist is now dead, while a pickup driver is hospitalized following a collision on the Fairfield Public Road, Essequibo Coast, yesterday. Dead is Kevon Takrudeen of Dry Shore, Essequibo Coast. Reports are that about 17 hours 30 yesterday, the pickup truck, driven by a man who was later found to be under the influence of alcohol, was speeding along the roadway when it collided with Takrudeen. Takrudeen was picked up in an unconscious state and rushed to the Study Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police said that the driver sustained injuries about his body after his vehicle toppled multiple times. Still to come after the break, Attorney General says that there is no money to implement laws passed by his government. Stay with us.
You can be a millionaire by only spending $100 on a Daily Million ticket. Simply pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 26, or you can buy a quick pick for your chance to win the Daily Millions. Purchase your tickets daily, Monday through Saturday, to get a chance to win $1 million every day. So, feeling lucky? Then buy a Daily Millions ticket today. Remember, a ticket today could make you rich today.
Why you minding me business? I noticed you yesterday, you're there watching. Today you're there here again. Why you minding me business? I'm fed up with your nosy self.
Yeah, baby, I just love your windows.
Why you bad eyeing me window? Like your house in a window? What kind of window really in your house?
I got some old louvers windows that I need to change.
Louvers? Test that, it? People still got louvers window. Girl, I let you in for a secret, right? Beeson got a special deal right now. You go down there, you buy 10 window, you get a free bathroom window. Oh, for the love of God, throw away them louvers window and go down to Beeson and modernize.
Beeson Windows and Doors, serving Guyana with the highest quality windows for your home, office, or commercial building.
Did you know almost 1/3 of deaths in Guyana are heart-related? Chronic inflammation is the root cause of atherosclerosis, the process that leads to cholesterol-clogged arteries. You can now lower high triglyceride levels with Omega XL and reduce the dangerous inflammation that causes these problems. So to ensure a healthy heart and reduce your risk of disease, get your Omega XL today. Live long, stay strong with Omega XL.
Everything is connected: our planet, our water sources, including the water we drink. Sometimes harmful bacteria end up in our streams and canals. Although treated, the risks are high. You can prevent this pollution and contamination by maintaining your septic tank and grease traps. Call the experts at Puran Brothers Disposal Incorporated on 264-1239 or 603-5050. Keeping it clean is what we do best.
Welcome back. You're watching MTV's News Update. Attorney General Basil Williams says lack of finance is preventing the government from implementing several pieces of legislation. Williams is putting the blame on lack of monies on the former People's Progressive Party administration, which demitted office more than 3 years ago. Details from Sandy Ramotar.
During a news conference yesterday, Attorney General Basil Williams told reporters the requisite finances to cover the implementation of several pieces of legislation are limited. But the government is working assiduously to ensure the pieces of legislations that are still languishing will be implemented at the soonest.
A lot of that legislation require millions of dollars to implement. As you would know, having read them, a lot of system structures have to be erected, and a lot of people put in place. It's something that's being looked at. You know that these matters would require the attention of the Minister of Finance and the availability of finance and etc.
The Attorney General also blamed the People's Progressive Party for the lack of finances, stating that the APNU AFC, which took office 3 years ago, inherited billions in debt.
Money is not exactly in the backyard, just you go and pick it off a tree. Point taken. Because of, you know the reasons. $30 billion payable to one sector. Heavy judgments in court by Nandalal and the PPP. There's one right now that we're trying to see if we could ameliorate the impact of it. It's like a budget itself.
The Witness Protection Bill and the Protected Disclosures Bill are among a number of bills yet to be implemented by the administration. Sandy Ramutar for MTV's News Update.
The spirit of the United Republican Party will not be daunted as the party is ready to contest the upcoming local government election. More in this report.
The United Republican Party is currently campaigning for votes in the upcoming local government polls, an election that promotes democracy at the community level. Leader of the party, Dr. Vishnu Bandhu, during an interview with this newscast, noted that unlike the Healing the Nation Theocracy Party, the URP will not shy away from running alongside the major parties.
We intend to contest 6 tongue, which is 3 in the quarantine, New Amsterdam, Rosal and Corriverton, also Georgetown, Linden, Honor Regina and many other NDCs.
Dr. Bandhu claims that democracy is lacking at both the central and the local government levels and promised to return democracy to the people once the URP attains the councilorships.
This is not democracy. The URP want to see true democracy in Guyana, and that's what we're working towards.
Dr. Bandhu noted that each ballot will be acknowledged whilst lobbying for votes.
Go out there and put your signature to the URP, the cowhead, so that you will able to make a difference. Your vote will be counted.
Local government election, which was last held in 2016, is set for November 12. Godfrey Brooms, MTV News Update.
Persons will continue to be exposed to heavy scrutiny during the financial transactions as the government look to clamp down on anti-money laundering and terrorist financing. Details from Sandy Ramutar.
Attorney General Basil Williams told reporters yesterday that heavy scrutiny during financial transactions will continue. Measures were taken against financial institutions after Guyana was blacklisted by the Caribbean Action Task Force in 2013. This came as a result of the non-enactment of the anti-money laundering and countering the financing terrorism.
So why transfers, money transfers, or the like, they are still scrutinized within the requirements of the recommendations of FATF. Well, I suppose when terrorist acts are stopped, when trafficking in narcotics and trafficking in persons and trafficking in arms and ammunition, when those things are beyond us or behind us, we could return to some normalcy.
Persons engaged in financial transactions would have seen a change in the system, requesting additional information and documentation for the process. The Attorney General said stringent measures were targeted as a tight lid to impair the movement of terrorist financing.
To protect the world's financial, the global economy from money laundering and terrorist financing. That is the overarching objective. And to clean economies of narco, dirty money, and free up economies so that, you could have economies operating in the normal way and not challenged by the underground economy.
The Attorney General will attend the CFATF Steering Group and 10th Council of Ministers meeting on September 11 and 12. Financial and strategic matters, as well as a discussion and approval of policies, are slated for the agenda. Sandy Ramutar for MTV's News Update.
The Meat and Food Inspection Unit of the Mayan City Council will soon roll out a campaign to clamp down on meat and food vendors who are operating in insanitary conditions. More in this report.
Assistant Meat and Food Inspection Officer of the Mayor and City Council, Abiola Baker, says vendors must ensure that meat which they sell to consumers is first stored at the right temperature, ensuring consumer safety. Baker takes issue with the matter in which some vendors are storing meat and food products at the market.
Pertaining to meat being stored in the marketplace or being sold in the marketplace, we have an issue generally with how it is stored, how it is displayed for a sale. And when they bring it out in the marketplace, especially on days when we're not at work, weekends, how it is being handled and sold on the markets. That is the main problem we have.
Baker explained that the Meat and Food Inspection Unit will be going after vendors who fail to follow all raw meat handling procedures.
We cannot disclose that. We go impromptu. From time to time, we have campaigns that we do, and we target specific areas in the markets.
Baker further explained that all meat which is retailed to consumers prior to its arrival in freezers and on market shelves must first meet the required standard by meat and food inspectors. She added that until measures are taken, no amount of meat is given the green light to be sold to consumers.
We have inspectors who would go out there and educate the persons who are selling meat upon how they should store the meat. They shouldn't put it in the freezer and then take it out and then hang it out there for sale, and when it's not sold, we place it into the refrigerator because of microorganisms. Also, the meat should be covered. Sometimes they put them in pans and they have them covered with a plastic, but not on all occasions.
The Meat and Inspection Unit is urging consumers to be gatekeepers and report on individuals neglecting the standard procedures for handling and retailing raw meat. Reporting for MTV News Update, LaShawna Gomes, Cornelius.
Kippenny Jordan now joins us with today's tips for healthy living.
Through our blood, the heart with each beat provides adequate oxygen and nutrients to our body in every second of the day. To ensure your heart stays healthy and functioning, here are a few tips. 1. Avoid smoking. Being smoke-free is one of the best things you can do to protect your heart. 2nd, manage your blood pressure. Blood pressure isn't usually something you can feel. If it's too high, it needs to be treated. 3rd, try to keep your cholesterol in check. Cholesterol is a fatty substance carried in your blood. Your body needs cholesterol to be healthy, but an imbalance of cholesterol in your blood can lead to a heart attack or stroke. Stay active. Regular, moderate physical activity is great for your heart health. It's never too late to start and get the benefits. It's also important to sit less during your day and break up your sitting time. 5th, keep a balanced diet. Eating a varied diet of healthy foods can help with your weight, blood pressure, and cholesterol. Use less salt, limit your alcohol intake, and replace unhealthy fats with healthy fats. And finally, achieve and maintain a healthy weight. Maintaining a healthy weight can reduce the risk of heart disease and other health problems.
Alleged child rapist granted bail. This and more in tonight's Court Roundup right now. Former Guyana Defence Force Captain Orwin Sandy was today committed to the High Court for the murder of his reputed wife. The preliminary inquiry into the matter came to an end before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman. Evidence was led by Police Prosecutor Corporal Sean Gonzalez. At the end of the preliminary inquiry, Sandy's attorney James Bond complimented the magistrate for the speedy hearing in the matter. Sandy, who served as Special Assistant to the Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defence Force, is currently in remand for the murder of Riona Payne on March 31, 2018 at 1st Street, Alexander Village. According to reports, Sandy, after shooting the woman some 14 times, surrendered to police at the Rhineville Police Station on Saturday, March 31. A post-mortem report revealed that Payne died from 14 gunshot wounds to her body, 13 to her chest and 1 to the head. The police have confirmed that Sandy used a service firearm during the shooting. Police sources also related that the soldier had on one occasion lodged his firearm at the police station during a domestic dispute. One source said the soldier had suspected that Payne was being unfaithful and was conversing with someone from overseas. It was reported that Sandy had planned to drop Payne off at her place of work when she received a phone call allegedly from the same person from overseas. When the soldier questioned her and asked her to desist from railroading their relationship, an argument ensued, and in the vicinity of the masjid in 1st Street, Alexander Village, Payne grabbed the soldier's firearm and threw it out of the car. According to the source, Sandy stopped the vehicle to retrieve the weapon, and Payne exited too, and after picking up the gun, he fired in her direction, emptying the entire magazine. A 47-year-old man was this morning released on $300,000 bail for raping a 16-year-old girl. Judge D. Hodge appeared before the Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, where the matter was held in camera. He was not required to plead to the charge. The charge stated that between September 1, 2017 and September 30, 2017 at Plantation Maka, East Bank, Demerara, he engaged in sexual penetration with a child which lived in the same household as him. He was represented by attorney at law U.C. Anderson, who made an application for reasonable bail. The Chief Magistrate released Hodge on $300,000 bail and adjourned the matter until September 13. Hodge was also ordered to keep away from the victim. Coming up after the break, MTV's sport update and more. Stay with us.
Let me tell you. Our secret! So I can't tell you. A secret of a secret. Me go, follow. And hear me catch you.
The secret is out. Tayo's Future Shop is the absolute best place to shop if you're looking for quality products at the lowest prices in the widest possible variety. Choose from a vast array of custom-made quality wooden furniture in endless designs, electrical and household appliances, clothing, cell phones and accessories, and much, much more.
Oh my God, so much in this store, God. Me confused. And a price low too.
Tayo's Future Shop and Household Appliances, located at Anna Catarina, West Coast, Demerara. Free delivery available.
Credit? No, me know the secret. I like, oh, you know the secret? Everybody know the secret.
You can be a millionaire by only spending $100 on a Daily Million ticket. Simply pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 26, or you can buy a quick pick for your chance to win the Daily Millions. Purchase your tickets daily, Monday through Saturday, to get a chance to win $1 million every day. So, feeling lucky? Then buy a Daily Millions ticket today. Remember, a ticket today could make you rich today.
Sinomall's lingerie collection is creating a stir for 2 sexy reasons. 1, they're affordable, and 2, they're seductive. Select from swimsuits, erotic underwear, made to make you look good and feel comfortable, while making your relationship spicy. We're ready to serve your favorite style that is sure to make him happy. And that's no secret, just take a good look. And we're not done yet. For the perfect shape, we have roll-ons and booty pops, along with trendy gym wear, at a fraction of the cost you would pay online, minus the hassle. So pick up a bra that makes you feel comfy, right here at Sinomall, 16 Crow Street, Georgetown, right opposite the 40 Bus Park. Call 231-8200 or 617-6088.
Mark?
I'm in the kitchen.
This is amazing! I love your tiles.
Make an impression with the finest tiles imported by Lens. Lens has a huge selection of various tiles for your wall, floor, and pool needs. All of our tiles are of grade A quality, which are the highest quality tile rated. That means they last longer and are less likely to damage or crack. We're the sole distributor for many reputable companies around the world. At Lens, we have special deals for contractors and bulk shoppers. Shop at any of our 3 locations to get the best in tiles. Lens. Our product, your creation.
Welcome to Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., Guyana's sole distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, SKF bearings, seal and belts, international trucks and parts, and Napa batteries. With a bond capacity of 30,000 square foot, we offer superior brands at affordable prices and the best after-sales service. ISG supplies sustainable integrated solutions to make your business a growing success. Visit us at our new main office at Lot 4Q Peters Hall. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.
Welcome to MTV's Sport Update. In some CPL T20 news, Jamaica Tallawahs have called up New Zealand leg spinner Ish Sadi as a like-for-like replacement for Australia's Adam Zampa, who will be returning home for the start of the domestic season. This will be Saudi's first CPL stint. He was most recently involved in the Vitality Blast, where he picked 19 wickets in 15 matches for Nottinghamshire, who made the quarterfinals. Earlier this year, he made his IPL debut for Rajasthan Royals after being signed as a replacement for injured Afghanistan leg spinner Zahir Khan. Zampa took 9 wickets in as many matches for Tallawahs this CPL. That included 3 for 27 in 4 overs in a victory against St. Lucia Stars at the start of the tournament. Zampa's scalps included those of Andre Fletcher and Kieran Pollard. The Tallawahs have already qualified for the playoffs and are currently in 3rd place. They face the 2nd-placed Guyana Amazon Warriors in their final league encounter before heading into the knockouts. In another swap of wrist spinners, Tabriz Shamsi came in for Tom Cooper in the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots squad. Shamsi made an announcement via Twitter. Shamsi was recently on tour with South Africa and India, but played just 2 50-overs matches because of back spasms. Lamichani was Patriots' premier spinner, but he is now left to be with the Nepal team for the 2018 Asia Cup qualifiers in Malaysia. Patriots are through to the knockouts following their 7-wicket victory via the DLS method over the Tallawahs. Two-time World T20 winning captain Darren Sammy will join the West Indies Ambassador Program to lend his support of the Windies women for the upcoming ICC Women's World T20. Sammy has confirmed his participation and will make appearances during the September to November tournament as part of the campaign to promote the tournament. Sammy has expressed delight to be involved in this project. The world-class all-rounder is rooting for Stephanie Taylor and her charges to defend the title on home soil. As part of his role as ambassador, Sammy will be included in a variety of public activities to include community activities, photo sessions at venues, and will make appearances with the players where applicable. The ICC World T20, the first standalone event of its kind, is scheduled for November 9 to 24 and will also be at the Providence Stadium, Guyana, Darren Sammy Stadium in St. Lucia, and the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, Antigua. Windies ambassadors are current and past players who, as leading figures of the game, bring significant added value to CWI campaigns, events, and commercial programs. While the Guyanese ruggers returned home winless, preparation on and off the field was a huge challenge which may have impacted the team's performance. Here is that story. Guyana's rugby team, the Green Machine, returned home yesterday winless following the Rugby Americas Challenge Series in Colombia. That competition was dominated by the host country. Though being defeated by Colombia, crushed by Paraguay and edged out of the winner's row by Mexico, all was not lost as the ruggers played their hearts out. Guyana will take the competition as a stepping stone as it faces off with the likes of the Cayman Islands in 2 months. That match will be a must-win for the Green Machine, lest it be relegated to playing amongst the Caribbean teams. While things were unfavorable on the pitch for Guyana, the administration was also poor. It was a challenge finding training grounds for the team as well as accommodation. The Guyana Darts Association will host a series of youth tournaments soon to engage more young people in the sport.
The Guyana Darts Association returned from the most successful Americas and Caribbean Cup Championship tournament held in Trinidad and Tobago in July. The president of the GDA, Sheikh Yassin, told this newscast that the association has been working on a few strategies to promote the sport and engage more youths. He added that they started a Sudesh Fitzgerald Youth Tournament in honor of their champion, Sudesh Fitzgerald, and the last tournament would have taken place on August 3, where there were a total of 12 youths present. Because darts is not a very popular sport, it was recognized that the sport urgently needs exposure and more youths engaged since Guyana's contingency has had no participation from youth for the last 2 tournaments.
As you may know, in Guyana, darts is not a very, very big talk about in terms of sports, but it is a big sport in Guyana. Among the darts enthusiasts, it's a big sport. It's a big sport in the sense that the darts player play darts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday 3 times a week. And if you could give up those 3 days a week, it means that the tournament, it's a big thing. Unfortunately, it's not been spreading. And 2 reasons for that is, and I want to commend you immediately, 2 reasons for that is because we are not having enough exposure and, most importantly, funding.
Yasin added that the association would have submitted their 2019 budget to the National Sports Commission, and with the help of the Director of Sports, Christopher Jones, they have had a good support system. The Director of Sports told this newscast that the Commission has been on board with the Darts Association for a number of years, and they will continue to have their support.
Yeah, well, in fact, it's actually continue our relationship with them. We've had an excellent relationship with darts. In fact, the last tournament that they had, which I think was in Trinidad, it was part funded by the National Sports Commission. And many of their previous engagement that they had, the Sports Commission was on board with them. We will continue to be part in supporting them. We recognize that they have recently started a juniors club, persons between the age of, I think, 6 to about 11. We're encouraged by that.
The association lacks the funds that are needed to help host events and in-house tournaments. Yasin mentioned that the association has held a number of fundraisers in aim of raising funds for their trips. The Dart Association is yet to reschedule a date for their post-Independence Darts Cup that was postponed due to a lack of funds. Chelsea Griffith reported for MTV's Sports Update.
And finally in sport, defending champion Sloane Stephens has been knocked out of the US Open in the quarterfinals after defeat by 19-seed Anastasia Sevastova. The American third seed seemed to struggle physically in high temperatures in New York, with the extreme heat policy again in place. Stephens hit 27 on forced errors and lost 62-63 on Arthur Ashe Stadium. Victory for Latvian Sevastova sees her reach the first Grand Slam semi-final of her career. She will play the win of Tuesday night's match between Serena Williams and Karolina Pliskova in the last 4. And that's our sports package for this evening. Stay with us. More news after the break.
Welcome to Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., Guyana's sole distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, SKF bearings, seal and belts, international trucks and parts, and Napa batteries. With a bond capacity of 30,000 square foot, we offer superior brands at affordable prices and the best after-sales service. ISG supplies sustainable integrated solutions to make your business a growing success. Visit us at our new main office at Lot 4Q Peters Hall. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.
In the region, the Venezuelan government says the levels of people leaving the country are normal. UN figures suggest that 2.3 million people have fled Venezuela's economic and political crisis since 2014. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez said the figures had been inflated by enemy countries trying to justify a military intervention. She spoke as officials from 13 Latin American countries were meeting to find a way to deal with the mass influx. Ms. Rodriguez says the government had complained to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres about individual officials who she said had been portraying a normal migratory flow as a humanitarian crisis to justify an intervention. Internationally, the confirmation hearing for U.S. President Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee has descended into mob rule, a Republican senator said. John Cornyn of Texas spoke out as Democrats demanded an adjournment, and 24 protesters were dragged out of the room in chaotic scenes. Brett Kavanaugh faces 4 days before the Senate Judiciary Committee. If approved, he would be expected to tilt the court's balance to the right. Minutes after Mr. Kavanaugh, 53, entered the committee rooms on Tuesday, the hearing was disrupted by angry shouts from members of the public and lawmakers alike. And that has brought us to the end of regional and international news. Now let's take a look at the Guyana Stock Exchange closing prices for trading session 789. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Harbor Bridge and Berbice River Bridge schedules. And that's a wrap on today's broadcast. Before we go, here is a reminder of our top stories. Nationwide teachers' strike moves into second day. Minister Keith Scott apologizes for calling teachers uncaring and selfish. Environmentalists concerned at spills, emissions, and seismic activities as Ghana prepares for first oil. And in sport, Darren Sammy joins CWI as ambassador for Women's World T20. Qatar rebroadcast at 23 hours today and at 6 hours 30 tomorrow. On behalf of our news and technical teams, I am Ashley Scotland. Thank you for watching. Good night.